10 years ago from the release of this entry, Transformers from 2007 was never considered a deep film, nor did it gain all-around glowing reviews. Yet it made an impact on audiences and people loved it. Its visuals were eye-popping, the action was gigantic, and the music was fun. Sure, characters were a bit exaggerated and seen as annoyances, but there was some likability to them. 5 entries later, and it looks like mainstream audiences still enjoyed the familiar formula. People still came out to see it, despite this being the lowest earning entry in the series, and that should mean something. Perhaps viewers want a little more in their robotic action romps. It's truly unfortunate when the only redeemable aspects to a film are its visual and audible components. Picking up sometime after the events of Transformers Age of Extinction, where Optimus Prime, played by Peter Cullen, left Earth to find the Autobots' creators, or creator, Cade Yeager, played by Mark Wahlberg, and the rest have been hiding from the government authorities. Kind of strange considering in every film they've saved the planet from being taken over. Nevertheless, Prime returns to his home planet and is captured by his creator, Quintessa, played by Gemma Chan. Her plan is turning Prime against his allies in search of an old artifact given from the Autobots to the humans during medieval times. Surprisingly, the one writer not involved with the sequel was Aaron Kruger, who was credited in the last 3 films and felt more like a burden than a contributor. This time, the script was penned by Ken Nolan from Black Hawk Down, Art Markham, and Matt Holloway from Iron Man and Punisher Warzone. Unfortunately, these changes did not improve on the story. The only thing the story properly gets correct is referencing the events from prior films, while occasionally using characters from those films. This is not enough, though, to prove itself to be a cohesive narrative. The fact that each entry has had to somehow retroactively fix the Autobots and how they played a part in the Earth's history is moronic. This kind of lunacy doesn't permit even continuity, and makes characters feel far less unique. While the runtime to this feature is much shorter than the last film, the delivery of the story is just a slog. Nobody seems to remember how many times Bumblebee's voice really has been heard. Anthony Hopkins plays Sir Edmund Burton, with Cogman, played by Jim Carter, a robot transformer butler who does nothing but provide exposition dumps. It is a complete phone-in from Hopkins. Speaking of phone-ins, Peter Cullen does the same for Optimus Prime. Laura Haddock plays Vivian Wembley, who also has a past she isn't aware of. Want to guess how she interacts with Cade Yeager? Everything is forced. Even new characters like Isabella, played by Isabella Merced, and her robot transformer, Squeaks, played by Reno Wilson, get sidelined further in the story. There's just too much to handle for this sequel. Actors like Josh Duhamel, Jared Carmichael, and John Turturro try, but they're forgettable because of all that's going on. Voice actors Frank Welker, John Goodman, Ken Watanabe, Omar Sy, John DiMaggio, and Jess Harnell all deserve better for their characters development-wise. From a visual standpoint, this is the one element to the franchise that maintains its consistency. The CGI special effects blend well with the physical backgrounds, and the attention to detail on the robotic characters are as good as they've always been. While the cinematography has changed hands throughout the series, that too has remained competent. This time, the director of photography was Jonathan Sella, who also worked on Max Payne, Law Abiding Citizen, and A Good Day to Die Hard. Lastly, the music composed by Steve Jablonsky, who has worked on the franchise since the beginning, has remained true to his form. Also, with producing the most music for this film, those who enjoy the music will have plenty of tracks to listen to. The technical fundamentals of this final film in the franchise have been as solid as they've ever been. The problem is, it does not make a movie by itself. The screenplay, while written by different people, does nothing to close plot holes, maintain continuity, or make any of the characters interesting. Most performances are either boring or underutilized. It's sad because so much could have come from it this far in the series.